Hey everyone, this is Young Marine Sergeant Major Orozco, and I'm here at the famous Alamo with the 6th Division Young Marines of the Year. We're in San Antonio, Texas for the Adult Leaders Conference, where the last several days the registered adults of the organization have been learning about new ways to better the lives of America's youth. And these 6th Division Young Marines of the Year, one of them this evening, will be the next National Young Marine of the Year.
We're filming live here at the San Antonio Riverwalk at the 2018 Adult Leadership Conference. And I'm again joined, as always, this year by Young Marine Sergeant Major Angel Orozco, our National Young Marine of the Year. Good to have you with me again.
Good to be here, sir.
It's another great day. We're on day 2, and the classes have been outstanding. The icebreaker was awesome. Obviously, we're deep in the heart of Texas, so there's a lot of boots being worn. There's a lot of cowboy hats on, but we're having a great time. And I tell you, the feedback already has been phenomenal about the kind of classes we're offering. You know, since we did the public affairs course in February, you have been on the road an incredible amount of time. And I'm not just talking about Guam and Iwo Jima. Where else have you been?
So I was gone nearly the entire month of March. Finishing off with the public affairs correspondent course, I went to a junior leadership school, First Florida Regimental Junior Leadership School. I had a great time there, met some outstanding young Marines, and had an opportunity to see the youth of our country learning and being able to go back to the basics with the junior leadership school and seeing those young Marines and seeing that our country's in good hands was definitely a relief. Next week after that, I went to Georgia. They had a battalion encampment there, and just had a good time with young Marines, inspiring, motivating, and doing the best I could to show our young Marines what our National Young Marine looks like.
So we had a really unique opportunity because of your flexible schedule. Oh, by the way, too, amazing, valedictorian, 4.0 GPA, and all that, and still traveling around the world. You know, we got that opportunity for us to tie in a trip for you to Okinawa in advance of our Guam and Iwo Jima trip. That must have been really amazing to get to go there and meet those young Marines and see that country.
Sure, going to Okinawa, first of all, being able to go to any other country in the world is always an eye-opening experience in terms of culture and experience. And for me, you know, my mission is to meet as many young Marines as I can. It's been a long time since anyone has really had time for young Marines to visit Okinawa, Japan, because we have a unit stationed out there, the Okinawa Young Marines. And I was able to go hike the Ishikawa Dake Trail and learn about the history of Okinawa, the Battle of Okinawa, World War II. I was able to stay with the unit commander of the Okinawa Young Marines, Master Gunnery Sergeant Novillo, the unit commander there, and just really experience something I never would have had the opportunity to do. And hopefully, I was inspired those young Marines to come to the States and see what our organization is about, but also to...
And when they rotate back, because they're mostly all military dependents, so that means they're going to rotate back to the mainland U.S. And can stay in the program at another base or station with their parents.
And like our organization as a whole, we value retention, and I hope those young Marines were inspired by my visit, and I definitely had an amazing time heading out there.
Yeah. Well, then it kind of seemed like after that, you completed your sweep of all 6 divisions and Okinawa, because your last trip was down to another unit in 1st Division.
I went to a battalion encampment in 1st Division and finally had the opportunity to visit those young Marines and inspire and motivate, you know, and just having that opportunity to be there and see those things. One of my goals as the National Young Marine of the Year was to go to every division.
And that was really well done. The fact that you were able to fit it in, and it wasn't just individual unit, but you were able to coordinate with the other young Marines and the unit leaders to get you into locations, like you said, a leadership academy, New England Regiment camp, where you got a lot of young Marines together that you could talk with and inspire. Really well played, really well planned, and a heck of a lot of frequent flyer miles. I'm not sure what your status is, but I'm sure it's pretty darn good.
Yes, sir. Young Marine of the Year is not a title or an award. Young Marine of the Year is a position of service. It's an opportunity, it's a platform. As a young Marine, you always hope to be that next leader, to move forward and serve others around you, and Young Marine of the Year is the ultimate opportunity for that. And as an individual that learned about servant leadership and learning about serving my nation and my fellow peers and my community, I wanted to have that opportunity to inspire and motivate. Almost like that sense of saving the world and changing the world. And being the National Young Marine of the Year was that platform for me, to be able to see the world, to travel, to influence, to inspire. I could only do that through this position in the way that I did. And I'm very proud to say that I was the National Young Marine of the Year, and I hope that the things that I've done will continue to have a changing effect on this organization and the youth of this country, because I believe in the young Marines. I believe in strengthening the lives of America's youth. I believe in teamwork, leadership, and discipline. And as my 10 years come to a close, I don't regret anything that I've done, and I'm so glad to have been able to earn the title of a young Marine. I'd like to thank, first of all, my mother. She's the bedrock of my foundation. She's set me up for success in my life. My family, all my supporters, my community, the registered adults in my unit, Gunny Jackson as my leadership mentor, Colonel Davis, all the National Headquarters staff. I'm definitely thankful for everything everyone has done for me.
All the lessons learned along your journey has prepped you for success, and I know you have big things ahead. So you're off to college?
Yes, sir. I'm heading to Arizona State University.
Outstanding. And what are you going to be studying?
I'm a high achiever. I try and be the best that I can.
No.
Yes, sir. So I did early college enrollment classes, and getting good grades is about being well-rounded as an individual and about a leader. It's part of education, and education comes first as a young Marine. And my schoolwork I take seriously, and so I was able to get my associate's degree, and I'll be getting my associate's degree this month in Associates in General Studies. And then because a lot of the community service work and a lot of the character building I've done with the Young Marines, I managed to earn a full ride scholarship to anywhere in the nation. And so they'll pay for me, since I already have my associate's degree, to get a double bachelor's degree.
That is outstanding, because I remember we made that announcement that you'd earned that scholarship. What a phenomenal opportunity for you, and what a great relief for your family.
Yes, sir.
Because as a dad who paid for kids in college, I'm very excited for your family not to have to do so. So that's great.
I'll be studying political science and economics. I was accepted to the business school at Arizona State University, and I will miss the Young Marines so dearly, but I'm ready for the next phase.
I would tell you I would share with you some of my economics books from my bachelor's degree, but I think they're a little dated. So good luck to you in the future endeavors, and please continue to stay in touch with everyone in Young Marine News Network land about how you're doing when you get out there.
Yes, sir.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Thank you for everything you did.
Thank you, sir.
So the Adult Leaders Conference is just an outstanding opportunity for leaders from across the country, our volunteers, to get extra education and training to help them run great programs for our young Marines across the country. You know, the first opening day has a lot of general session information and updates, but in the afternoon, we do some really special discussion topics, one of which happens to be drug demand reduction. And I'm going to ask Joe Lusignan, our Deputy Director for the West Coast and DDR officer, to talk a little bit about the special presentations we had yesterday. Joe, they were just great.
It was a fun afternoon. Part of they go through leadership classes and things like that, but one of the other things that we do while they're here is we actually acknowledge and celebrate some of the work that they've done in the field. And so we had members from the Drug Enforcement Administration come to our conference yesterday, and not only did they give us a class, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but more importantly to the units out there committing drug demand reduction education in their communities, we awarded 3 units from each division, and the DEA flew in especially to do just that.
And this year, as you noted, just like with the Fulcrum Shield, where we had multiple submissions, more than any other year in the past, I think you had the same experience with the Kiki Camerena Awards, that we saw a lot more participation from the field, creating a challenge for the judging panel.
Well, it actually was. We had to, in the past, we may have had 3, 4 from the entire division submit for this award. This year, we had many more than that. In fact, we probably had a total of about 40 that submitted the awards. So we slimmed it down to, normally I submit 3 packets per division to the DEA, and they screen them and they come up with first place, second place, third place. This year the competition was so fierce that in a couple of the divisions I actually submitted 6 and 7 different applications, creating more work for our partners with the DEA. But it was really nice to see the units coming together, so many of them getting enthused with the process that we're doing and the opportunities to make a difference in their community, that it is true. This year we had more submissions than we've ever had before.
You know what I like too is that, you know, while you said you sent a lot of additional packages to them, I think it let them really see the breadth and depth of our program in drug demand reduction and how many units. It's not just the 3 you sent them. There's all these others that are doing the same mission across the country that all contributed to over 100,000 hours last year in drug demand reduction.
The packets that were submitted are no longer just meeting the basics, meeting the minimums. Our units are out there doing the DDR dash, they're doing presentations in their communities, they're doing trunk or treat with DDR education material. They're really stretching their efforts in Red Ribbon Week to encompass the entire year, and they're really stepping up to the bar. The packets that get submitted to the DEA are now so much more thorough and so much more complete than they ever have been.
But it's an incredible combination of engagement and creativity to get our message of drug demand reduction education out, not just to the young Marines, but to our communities writ large, to continue to be a source of prevention for our youth across the country. You know, so then at the end of the awards, our guests from the DA rolled right into that new program that the Drug Enforcement Agency wanted to share with us and our young Marines.
Yes, they did. We had Kathleen Drew, the same young lady that came out to help us present the awards. She is a scientist as a background, and she works in the prevention department for the DEA. So she came and she unveiled Operation Prevention, and Operation Prevention is an education process that's age-related with lesson plans targeting the opiate crisis that we have occurring in our country. And so they have lesson plans for both elementary, middle school, and high school, and they're self-paced, and so it's a new program that they can learn about the opiates as well as compete for prizes in videos and those types of things, contests.
The prizes for the videos are phenomenal. I can't believe that we won't have young Marines applying and hopefully winning those in the years to come. I mean, it was like $10,000.
And they also get to go to the DEA Academy to participate in some of the training that they do with the DEA.
You know, and the other exciting part of this, like we said, we're coming up with so many new and creative ideas to help augment and reinforce our drug demand reduction education. But I'm really excited about that we are going into year 2 of our DDR Dash.
It's a 5K run in conjunction with the Red Ribbon Week efforts, and it is our commemoration and tribute to Kiki Camerena for his sacrifice, as well as the officers and agents that strive so much to keep the scourge of drugs off our streets. So we will be going across the nation and running 5K as units, inviting the public to join us.
So we're looking forward to be talking more about that and seeing you on October 28th. Whether you're running
or walking very briskly,
we'll see you out there.
Hi, I'm Young Marine Master Gunnery Sergeant Hamper, and we're here today, this weekend at Delaware, Ohio, where we are here for our Ohio Regiment Symposium.
This weekend we had various young Marines from all over the Ohio Regiment give PowerPoint presentations about things such as being a mentor, leading other young Marines, and how to send off other young Marines to leadership schools such as JLS and SLS.
This weekend we also had a special visit from our Division 5 Young Marine of the Year, Young Marine Sergeant Major Bruce Shaber, where he gave a PowerPoint on how he became a Young Marine Sergeant Major over the years in the program.
Some young Marines were assigned a class to prepare to teach other young Marines. Some topics were ways to improve our regiment, such as regimental fundraisers and even a Young Marine regimental YouTube channel. Other young Marines were taught how to prepare for leadership schools, ways to improve drug demand reduction classes within units, and what a mentor is and does. Thank you to all of the young Marines who came out and made our first Ohio Regimental Symposium a success. We had 23 young Marines present with ages ranging from 10 to 18. We also had 4 different states who were represented from Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Missouri.
We look forward to bringing this event back in years to come.
I'm Young Marine Master Gunnery Sergeant Hamper.
And I'm Young Marine Gunnery Sergeant Cardwell.
Signing off for the News Network here at Ohio Regiment Symposium.
After multiple years in Las Vegas, we've moved to San Antonio to try a new location, which has brought a lot of new people and a lot of new opportunities for getting around. As you can see the water taxi behind me, what a great way to move around, go to different locations, and see some of the sights of the town. 23 new units who have not been to an ALC in at least 3 years are here learning and sharing their experiences with each other to help improve our programs across the country. And I think that, Joe, the classes we've offered this year, really focusing on communication, so many different ways to help us do our job and help inspire, educate, and engage with the young Marines.
Well, what was nice too is, you're right, the theme is communication and enhancing it, both from the top to the bottom and vice versa. But what's nice too is it just isn't headquarters that are doing the classes. We've actually solicited experts from the field that are coming in and give those classes and sharing their knowledge as well.
That's right. We have a dedicated team of many familiar faces, unit commanders and other regional leaders that are coming in and helping with classes, as well as some experts from the field like Mr. Markowitz, Joe Markowitz, who came in with the bullying class.
Yep.
Full class, 4 classes, all of them full. And our keynote speaker yesterday was Dr. Lauren Eckris-Winkler, who is an expert in the field of grit. For those that haven't read the book, Grit by Dr. Angela Duckworth is very informative about how to develop the next generation of leaders, and it reinforces many of the values of our program. And it's not just reading for parents, it's a good read for young Marines as well.
To our adult volunteers that are out in our communities that are leading the young Marines, the product, for lack of a better term, that you are producing and the quality of kids that you are sending up at this level truly is phenomenal. And at every year we get to pick what's the best of the best, and after the competition, one young Marine will come out as the National Young Marine of the Year.
And at the end of this episode, you'll get to see a video recap of your new National Young Marine of the Year.
We awarded my great-great-great-great-grandfather Joe the Distinguished Order of Merit.
Well deserved indeed.
Indeed.
We're able to recognize his service to the Young Marine program with a variety of mementos and discussion with Mr. Veneable in front of the entire crowd.
And what was special about it too was actually our National Executive Director Emeritus, Mike Kessler, the gentleman who hired Mr. Veneable to be the Deputy Director. He was at this ALC as well to pay tribute to Mr. Veneable.
So Joe, on behalf of all the young Marines, all the adult volunteers, thank you. Your National Young Marine of the Year for 2018-19 is Young Marine Sergeant Major Lauren Loria.
In our units, it's very personal family connections. I've been in it for 9 years, and it's my life now. In 4th and 5th grade, I was homeless, and I actually stayed with one of our young Marine families throughout my time in elementary school, which was, now that I look back on it, a very difficult situation, but Young Marines has always been the stable part of my life, and everything else has been shifting. Young Marines has been there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to take the time to say what an honor it is to even be here in San Antonio. Whenever I first joined the Young Marines, I never thought that I would get this far. The first National Young Marine of the Year that I ever met was Casey Scott, and I didn't even know he was a National Young Marine of the Year. I just saw him as a great role model, and I knew I wanted to be that kind of role model. I wanted to inspire other kids to do that, with or without a National Young Marine of the Year title. This program is much more than a youth program. It's a lifestyle, and it's a family. So I will take the next year to try and make it better than it already is. Thank you.
So we've really enjoyed our time here in San Antonio, and as this year's ALC draws to a close, we're already well underway planning next year's ALC, because we're going to make it the happiest ALC on earth when we go to
Disney World!
Well, actually Orlando, but Disney World is next door. So start planning now for May of 2019. Signing off from the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas for the Young Marine News Network. Young Marines, stay motivated, stay engaged, keep living that healthy, drug-free lifestyle.
And until next time, Young Marines, you're dismissed.
Everyone!